All right, everybody, welcome to our attempt at a 1975 digging up, unearthing of the 1975 time capsule. So for the students that are watching in the classroom, if you're not sure what a time capsule is a container that you put things from your era, of your day, and bury it for the future, so the future could dig them up and determine what's in the time capsule. I'm Greg Klingon-Smith, Superintendent of Schools, and we are here with some members of the class of 1975 who are right behind us, and they're going to talk to us a little bit about what was going on in 1975 and mid-70s while we attempt to dig this up. Some thank yous before we get started, though. I'd like to thank the Warrenton Police Department for lending us their metal detectors. We've taken metal detectors all over this property to find out where this thing is, and we're still not 100% sure where it is. Also like to thank Lewis and Beatty for their help on the metal detecting as well. So we're still searching. So we'll probably dig a few holes. I think our chances of finding it are slim, so I don't think that we'll necessarily find it today, but we will continue looking, and hopefully we will find it. That would be great if we did. And another big thank you to Frank Stearman. Frank's going to be digging our hole. So thanks, Frank, for all you're doing, and appreciate it very much. So before we get started, though, the way we found out about this is Terry Krigbaum. Terry came to us with the 1975 yearbook, and Terry told us that, hey, there's a time capsule. So, Terry, you want to tell a story about it?
Oh, I was going through my yearbook with my grandson, and we ran across the pictures. I said, we got a time capsule we're supposed to dig up this year. There's only 2 weeks of school left, so I brought it to the attention of the school here, and here we are.
All right. Very good. Awesome. Thanks, Terry. So we got some great members of the class of 75 here. We got Brad Boozy-Cruz, Don Huff, Larry Corder, Mike Holt. You guys want to say a little bit to our students here, might be tuning in, about what was going on in the mid-70s here at school? A lot has changed here. None of these buildings were here. The field house wasn't here. So what was life like here in 1975 at Warrenton High School?
It's a lot more laid back. I don't know, long hair, The war was over. We was relieved. We didn't have to go. That was always good, and I don't know.
Go ahead. Say it again.
I don't know.
Okay.
The war was over. That's a big deal at that time.
It was a big deal.
And we worried about being drafted.
Yeah. So that was over for us. That was relief. We didn't have to do that.
Like Mike said, I think it was a lot more laid back, especially our senior years. Obviously, there was a lot less to worry about. All the classes were behind us, and we looked forward, I guess, to graduating. And it's kind of interesting. This morning I had breakfast with some of our retired teachers from back then. They all seem to have gray hair. So
that happens to us.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Does.
Yeah, it kind of happens to everybody. But yeah, the school was a lot smaller. I believe our class was somewhere in the
105, I believe, is what we had.
And so things have changed continually for the good. Obviously, the community is growing. This is kind of interesting. I never really thought about it 50 years ago when we did this, and all the who knows what's in the capsule. I'm not sure.
I was thinking maybe a deck of cards, because we called him Captain Nell. His name was Mr. Lubring. He's our teacher. He's a great guy. He let us play cards when we didn't have anything to do, and I thought maybe we might have put a deck of cards, and I'm kind of hoping we did. That would have been neat. But yeah, he was cool.
It was enjoyable. It was a good time. The teaching was a lot different, I'm sure, back then.
We had books.
Yeah,
books anymore,
exactly.
Yeah.
So that was so different. So it was different times. Like Mike said, the war was over. We talked about that all through school, which thank God we don't have to worry about those type things anymore. So, Huff, you want to?
Thanks, guys. All right. Okay, great. Well, we've had a little bit of reference to the yearbook picture. Let me pull that picture up here so you can see what we're working with. Now, get that pulled up here. Okay, so this picture here is the one that we were kind of going off of. Now, there is some debate. Is this picture of them actually burying the time capsule or not? Or is it just a picture of the class, the mythology class, Mr. Lubring's class, I believe it was, where they had archaeological digs throughout the district. So there is some debate on if this actually is the pictures. But this is one thing that we've used to help guide us, and will be one of our areas we do attempt to dig. As you can see in the background, there's a picture of Holy Rosary. And so Holy Rosary is kind of our mark there. Then there's also a fence that's kind of another big landmark. Apparently there was a softball field there, and that softball field helped us out. And some other notable things that are not in the picture were the multiflora roses that went all the way around the football field. Those roses are not in the picture, so we believe that it had been behind where those roses were. So that's going to be an area we attempt. But our first attempt to dig the hole is going to be to find the time capsule is going to be over here by the old ticket booth. So the old ticket booth, as you can see, has we've got the foundation here. We've found that, and the general consensus was it was buried behind the ticket booth. So we will start digging there. If we don't find it there, we'll go across the football field and try to find it over where the yearbook photo kind of is lined up. We've done a tremendous amount of metal detecting to try to identify where this time capsule is. So hopefully we're successful today. But if not, it'll be just fun to give it a try. So, Frank, you ready? All right, we're going to dig a hole. As we're getting in position here, see John Chandler, our director of maintenance, who's retiring on Friday. So congratulations to John. And appreciate Frank Stearman coming down to help us find out what we've got here. So John has the probe in his hand. So Frank's going to dig a little bit, and John's going to probe. And we'll see what we can find. There's our first unearthing. All right, so our second round here. Haven't come across it yet. So it's our understanding that the time capsule was about 18 inches to 2 feet deep. So we're digging about 3 or 4 inches at a time here. And we might take the metal detector and see if it's still in there. So we'll grab the metal detector and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Did a little metal detecting. Got a hit on something metal. So something is metal there. So we're continuing to dig. So we know it's not just surface level, whatever it is. Yeah. But when we did the probe, we didn't hit anything. Doesn't mean nothing is there. Well, we'll try it again here. See what we got. Okay, well, we still got a hit. We're not 100% sure exactly what we're picking up. We might be so close to the fence that we're picking up the fence on the metal detecting. But we will continue on for a little bit while. We're getting pretty far down there, though. I have a hard time believing that the high school students in 1975, although as stout and strong as they were, probably didn't dig that far down. So. John, we find anything? Nope. I don't think it's there. Okay, well, I think that's all we got on that spot. So unsuccessful there. So we are going to relocate to over to the other side of the football field. And we're going to fill this in, so stay tuned. in. We are going to move our camera over to our other spots. As you can see, it's walking across the field. I appreciate Dr. Ross carrying that over there. Dr. Ross doing some outstanding camera work for us. So we were unsuccessful behind the old ticket booth. So the old ticket booth was right there. So now we're going to try to attempt for what we believe could be from the photo. Well, let me pull that photo back up for you from the time capsule, which is right here. Yeah, you guys want to look at it? Okay, and so we've got, okay, if you want. There you are. So we've got the photo here as we make our way across the field. And so this is also attempt of our camera work. We are doing this wirelessly from that side to over here by the old ticket booth. And I think it'll reach, but we will find out if it stays with us. If we lose our camera, we will just have to regroup and start over. So we might have a little break in our broadcast here. So at this time, though, Dr. Ross is going across to where we believe this photo is taken from. As you can see, Holy Rosaries in the background, and there are no multiflora roses. So those old-timers that were around at that time, old-timers probably the right word, but that's what I'm going to use right now. We're on the other side of the roses. We've got the church in the background, and we have this fence. So one of the other things that was said was it might be buried underneath the bleachers. Unfortunately, underneath the bleachers is all concrete right now, so we're not able to get to that. So, but we're using this photo as kind of our reference. And a lot's changed since then. So we have a bus garage that's right in the middle of the way now. So it looks like Dr. Ross is getting to the buses. So this is our photo. And we really appreciate Frank Stearman and his work with the excavator today. Made it really, really great. So appreciate Frank and all that he's done for the district over the years. And Frank is a class of 1965. So 1965 was the first year they said they had football here at Warrenton High School. And that was a large contributor was Mr. Larry Lukey. I guess Mr. Lukey went to the school board and said, we'd like to have football. The school board said, we don't have the money for that. Mr. Lukey said, I'll find a way to fund it. And they came up with a way to build the original football field here at Blackhawk Middle School by privately funding by community members here in Warrenton. So we appreciate Mr. Lukey's efforts to get this original football field started. And then in the 90s, his son, Keith Lukey, and others were very involved with getting the new football field established. Similar situation, they had to privately fund that, and it was done through community donations. Kind of a neat story. So as we go back to what we're up to today, we're finishing up filling in this hole here and getting that packed down so it's safe for everybody again. And Dr. Ross is on the other side of the field, and we still have our communication. So I will be broadcasting from what I can see on the screen. I am at our original location and not on the other side of the field. So we will be using this photo and the help from Lewis and Beatty, Bart Corman. Big thank you to Bart Corman, who came out and did some metal detecting workforce over the last couple weeks to help try to identify a few locations. And we are on our way. So as the members of the class of 75 start walking across, the excavator is moving that way as well. And we'll be digging another hole shortly. Stay tuned. Okay. Well, looks like we're getting back in the location, so we appreciate Lewis and Beatty helping us out with all their metal detective work out in this area to help identify some potential spots where this might be. One of the big key factors of the photo that we have was the multiflora roses. Apparently, in the mid-'70s, there was roses that went all the way around that the superintendent planted for security reasons at football games, because I guess at that point had trouble funding a fence, and so they planted the roses. So this is on the other side of those roses, and then when you look at the church, you have to be able to see the east side of the church from the angle. So you've got to be over the roses, being able to see the east side of the roof of the Holy Rosary Church. And, of course, the bus garage wasn't there at the time, so the buses are a little bit in the way, so you can't get an exact view of it. But we've metal detected all around there with multiple metal detectors. Got a few hits on a few things. And so we are commencing digging. All right, so we're still digging the hole, and maybe this is where the time capsule is. And my understanding after this time capsule has been revealed to us that there is a time capsule available. Apparently there's a couple other time capsules that are out there that we don't know where they are either. So hopefully we don't find one of those. We believe there's one from 1990, and we believe there's one from 1997, maybe, 96, somewhere in that neighborhood. So hopefully we find the right one. And we're doing a little probing into the holes, see if we hit anything. Maybe we'll hit some metal. Because we believe it is buried about maybe 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet deep. It looks like we are unsuccessful in this location. So we've got 2 more locations identified. And we'll give those 2 a try. And if it's not there, we might have to call it a day. So some theories of where this time capsule could be is that it is underneath the concrete of the new bus garage. You would have thought that we would have found it whenever we did all the dirt work there, but maybe not. It could be underneath that. But if it is under concrete, we will not be finding that anytime soon. Feel free to tune in, Kim. Okay, we've got 2 more locations. We're filling in the whole of that second one that we attempted. So now we're off to the third potential spot. And if we happen to not find this today, if anyone has any information on the exact location of where it was buried, please reach out to me at the school. I'm Greg Klingensmith, superintendent, and be happy to look for it for you. But I do appreciate all the members of the class of 1975 coming out. 50 years, celebrating 50 years. And one of the great things about Warrenton are the great people that have come from our school district and the long history that we have here. We really appreciate Mr. Stearman and his outstanding excavator work as he's cleaning up that second hole, making it safe for people to walk across again. Okay, it looks like that is finished, and we are moving over, maybe. Looks like he's going back and forth over the second hole. Get that packed down good. All right, now we're moving over to our third location. And maybe we'll have some luck in this spot. Again, we've done a lot of metal detecting in this area, multiple metal detectors to find different hits. Of course, metal detectors could hit just something on the surface. It doesn't necessarily have to be deep in the ground, so it could be some coins or a piece of metal from a project earlier. And this property has been used for a lot of different things over the years, and from the mythology class back in the 70s, which that original picture could be from. It could be just something that was dropped. Somebody dropped a pair of pliers or something. And particularly at a football field when we have a lot of visitors and people coming in to watch the games, things could have fallen out of people's pockets, and maybe those are the hits that we're getting. But we did try to find ones that had some depth to them and not just surface level metal. And it looks like we are going to start our next one here. So we are starting our next round. Well, maybe we'll have some luck here. Let's look for some excitement from our class of 75. But the nice thing about this, I'm glad the class of 1975 was able to come out and give us some insight what life was like in 1975 here. They talked about the war being over. Of course, that's the Vietnam War, and how that had impacted daily life with the draft, not knowing if they were going to have to go to war or not. Major concern for high school students in the early 1970s. And to all our Vietnam veterans, welcome home. Appreciate all you've done, and all our veterans, of course. It looks like we are probing this, looking for. We're using some metal. See if there's any more metal in there. And maybe so. It looks like school board member Rich Barton's now on the scene, along with the Warren County Record. Appreciate the Warren County Record being out here to cover this today. It doesn't look like we've had success with that one. So we will be off to, I think, our final spot. So we're 0 for 3. Maybe we'll have a little luck on our fourth spot here. But one thing's for sure, we have a beautiful day for this. As we finish our last week of school, for any students still tuning in, congratulations on another great school year this year. Moving on to the next grade level next year. It's been a fun school year. We've had a lot of great success this year. Activities have been outstanding. We've had track and field right now. We've got some kids going to state. We've had records broken by Avery Shaw in the javelin and shot put. So football had a great season as well. Final four in the state. Baseball had another 20 wins. We had our stunt program was our first ever stunt in 2025 and the girls did an outstanding job with that. That was a lot of fun to watch. With some really good things in the band and the play. Pretty great year. So they're cleaning up that hole, and we are going over to our fourth spot now. Well, we are still in search of the time capsule that was buried in 1975. And I must give credit to the class of 1975 to try to help us track this down. They've tracked down teachers that have moved on to Norway. I believe Mr. Lubring is the main teacher involved with this. He taught with us for a couple of years. And then we're going from there. So I know they've talked to a lot of their classmates. They've talked to a lot of people that they've thought might be involved with this. Unfortunately, a few of them have passed away, and we're not able to get any information, of course, from them. But there's done a great job of trying to track down where this is, the exact location. But unfortunately, as time passes, we forget things, and sometimes we just aren't sure where things are anymore. So we might be in that situation now. Okay, this is going to be our, I believe, final attempt of where we had a pretty strong hit with the metal detecting. Let's look for some excitement from our folks that are out there. All right, we're going to attempt, it looks like, to do a little metal detecting to see if it's still in there. So if we don't find it here, there's a good chance it is probably underneath some concrete now. Unfortunately, we've concreted the bus garage, which is a wonderful improvement for our transportation department. Then also, if it's underneath the bleachers, those have also been replaced and are now have full concrete underneath those as well. Those were kind of the other leads that we had. So we're checking the metal detector here, doing a little metal detective work. Not looking good. Well, that's going to conclude our search for today. If anyone's out there that actually knows the location, the exact location, or feel like we're way off, just let us know. We'll be happy to attempt this again. But we appreciate everyone tuning in, and we will sign off for today. And again, we'd like to thank the Warrenton Police Department for their help with the metal detector. We'd like to thank Lewis and Beatty for their metal detective help. I'd like to thank Frank Stearman for his help with the excavating work today. And then again, we'd like to thank all the class of 1975 and all the students from the mid-70s for all they've contributed to the Warrenton School District and the traditions that continue today here in Warrenton. And we wish you all a great day, and thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. Bye.